Ladies and gentlemen, party people in the place to be, you are now in the midst of the realest. This is the Zero Conditions podcast, brought to you by Pop Central and the incredible crew of Zero Conditions podcast. I go by the name execs, aka The Real. I love it when I meet people outside that listen to this podcast because they are like the only people that call me The Real. Anywhere I am and I see someone and they say The Real, I just know that they listen to this podcast. So shout out to you guys. Today is a special day. It's a historic moment because for the first time, two of our co-hosts are not around. Motolani Alake has music industry shit to attend to, and he told everybody like a responsible adult that he is, that he can't make it, and we're like, okay, oh, good. Melody say one thing, let's move the time. We move the time. Ladies and gentlemen, she's still not here. So when I drag her every week for being late, these are the issues, and this is why. Melody, we love you, but be more responsible. Do you understand? This is what we expect of Nigerian women. It's not enough to say you want this, you want that. Be responsible. Stand up, come up to the plate when it matters. Deliver as promised. Thank you. God bless you. Moving on from that, Melody will drive me when she comes. That's if she even comes. Moving on from that, we have a very, very special guest in the building. This guest, when he's around you, you know, you don't talk anyhow. You don't talk anyhow. When he's in the place, all we do is we talk good things. We talk responsible things. We talk sound. And we talk bags. Ladies and gentlemen, Dolapo Amusat in the building. How you doing,
guys,
man?
I did all right, man. I did all right. I'm good.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Dolapo has, listen, guys, for those of you who don't know Dolapo, if you don't know Dolapo, you are doing something wrong, especially if you work like in the music space. Dolapo is the brain behind WeTalkSound. I don't know how to begin to explain what WeTalkSound is because there was what WeTalkSound was, and it has morphed into a lot now.
Yeah.
It has morphed into a lot. Like, you guys are shooting content for brands, for creatives. You guys still do like strategy sessions for brands, for creatives. You do rollouts. You're wearing a WeTalkSound jersey right now, so that means fashion is coming.
We're dropping soon, guys. Dropping.
Nice to have you, man. Nice to have you, man. The truth is that the lab was supposed to have been on this pod since we were terms and conditions.
Yep.
And
they never called me.
No, it wasn't the plan.
I tried to lobby to get a slot. Like, no, you've not blown enough.
Let's go
and up your game.
Oh my God. That was not the case. That was not the case. The truth is that we were always planning and then something will happen and something will happen. But God did it that when we'll be on TV that you'll come.
But then like the two of your hosts are not here.
They are not okay. They are not okay. But today is actually a very busy day. You know, there are some days in the industry that
Yep. So even like for me, I've been doing stuff all day. I have like 3 events.
Later this night, we are going for one together. So like it's just one of those days that Motolani couldn't be around, and he said it. He couldn't be around. Melody,
he texted me. To be fair,
he texted you too. You see that men are responsible, my people. Women. moving on. How you doing, man? What's up?
Man, I'm good. Really happy to be here, actually.
Yeah, man. Because like
it's been a long time coming.
It is. It has. I'm trying to now remember how long I've known you.
I would say 2018-ish.
2018?
No, not 2020.
No, not
2018.
2018.
Yeah, 2018-ish. That's when I knew Tolani as well.
Yeah. A lot has happened since then.
A lot. Like personal stuff, music stuff, career stuff.
You're a father now.
Yeah.
Like I can't do. How you know somebody, you guys are chilling and next thing the person just goes off and marries.
Life.
And then has a child. Like, what's going on? And then another thing that I noticed you've been doing a lot is that you've been traveling.
Yeah.
You've been traveling a lot. Like I'll just see on Instagram, I'll see train.
Yeah.
Functional train.
You're going to say no video way in Lagos.
Functional rail system, metro. Yeah. But you've been traveling a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you've been experiencing life basically.
In different ways.
Yeah. For you?
I mean, that's good. I think we all are evolving as time is passing by, and different phases come with like different experiences. And I'm in a different phase of my life right now. I'm trying to soak it all in, and enjoy all the things that come with it, and face the challenges that come with it as well. So
yeah,
it's all good.
nice. You know, one of the things that I have associated you with is someone who has been very particular about how we project Nigerian music culture.
Yeah.
Not just Afrobeats.
Yeah.
Because Afrobeats is a big agenda.
Yeah.
But Afrobeats is not all there is to the Nigerian music space.
Yeah.
So you're someone that has been very, and that has shown in like the people you've worked with.
Yeah.
You've worked with my very good boss, Reminisce.
Yeah,
Big
that's my egbo.
Big shout out to Reminisce. New album coming soon, by the way.
Yeah, soon.
You know, you worked on this Davido's album.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Yeah.
You guys
worked on the DMW side of it. So basically helping to push the new artists, Logos and
Morave.
Yeah.
So what has changed since, you know, when did WeTalkSound start, by the way? Let's even start from there.
2016.
You know what? First of all, let me tell you where we start from. So guys, there is this invasion happening in the entertainment space. It's an invasion. And we all need to come together and fight against it.
You can't fight it.
People from Ibadan are penetrating the music industry like crazy. Like, if you throw a stone, if you gather music industry people in one round, you throw a stone, it will hit like 5 people from Ibadan.
Yeah.
And they all know each other.
Yep.
That's even the craziest thing. They all know each other. They all went to the same primary school. How did that come about? Like, does this mean that Ibadan has like always been a place or a hub for the creative space and it's just beginning to bloom now?
I can't claim to be able to tell the full history. I can only tell from when I started to observe and be a part of things. And as at then, around 2016, when we're starting with WeTalkSound, you know, the community, then we're just literally, I was in final year in uni. A bunch of people in the community were people that had just graduated, and others were like people who were still students, right? I don't think that there was anything major happening. It was like small pockets of collectives especially in University of Ibadan.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a thing that the industry as a whole recognized or knew. I mean, before then there had been like some artists, you know, Spyro. He was Spyro Freeze then.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He was my senior in uni by a few years, so he had done stuff within the Ibadan ecosystem. There were also like there was like Jeru and Wizkid, you know, they sang this
Familiarity.
So there were all those.
That's a jam. If you don't know that song,
there were all those little moments in Ibadan, you know, but I don't think we had any.
Where's Jeru?
No idea, bro. I have no idea, bro. Bro, that song was so big in Ibadan then. Like, it was.
That was a jam.
Like, he made us proud.
I think I was in Unilag when that song came out.
Yeah.
And it was such a huge song in school then.
Yeah, so there wasn't really anything major, but I think that from then, somehow, I don't want to give WeTalkSound too much credit, but I know WeTalkSound takes part of the credits for the new resurgence or invasion, whatever you want to call it, of Ibadan people, because most of the people that I find in different spaces now, and I even think more of them are execs and back-end people. It's not even really the artists.
It's not even, like they said, music business. If you got music business people, just
many of them were like people that maybe when I was in final year, they were like 2 years behind or 3 years behind. They were in WeTalkSound from the beginning, and I just go somewhere to a meeting and I'm like, yo, this guy.
You're here.
So I think that WeTalkSound sort of helped to aggregate some of the things that were going on in different spaces and bring it together. And then the fact that we have been able to sustain what WeTalkSound was for this long, even people that were not directly a part of the initial WeTalkSound movement, they just heard of it and they knew that this was something that started from Ibadan. And then they would like come on Twitter and see WeTalkSound is doing stuff with these big artists, or we're doing something that's popping off in Lagos. And then they're still in Ibadan and they're like, I know when these guys started, I heard of them and they're here. That means that there's actually a pipeline. There's a way for me to also get to the
more or less
actual industry.
You guys inspired other people.
Oh, absolutely. We absolutely did. And it's not, there's inspiration from far. There's also like a ton of these people are actually WeTalkSound people. Like they were within the community when the community started. And it's not just music, it's also like, if we factor in people like Veda,
shout out Veda,
people like Oliekun.
Yeah.
Do you know Oliekun used to be a rapper?
I had no idea.
We have songs together. There's this cypher that we did in
Agba.
when I was in final year. It was called Gravity Bars Cypher.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. You rap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's the name of that project? You and
yeah,
Veda
we had
dropped?
Lagos in July, Lagos in December.
Lagos
had
in-
two projects. Yeah.
Something. Oh my God! There's a particular song and there's a particular bar.
Lucky Water Brown like Guinness.
Lucky Water Brown like
Bro,
Guinness.
like I randomly would open my Twitter these days and people would be quoting. Like I'll just open my Twitter on a random day and someone would quote it and tag me. I'm like, yo, that's actually something that I came up with and like has become a thing for some people. So yeah, all of us used to be artists. Like we all started this thing because we saw these collectives in the US. Like Pro Era, I was a huge fan of Pro Era and Odd Future. Just how they were just a bunch of like late teens and they were all creatives. They had artists, they had designers, it was just a pool of people that had different pieces of talent that they brought together. And it was all those movements where you can't really tell what it is. Like it's not a label, it's not an official collective, it's not what. So for like the first few years of WeTalkSound, people used to ask like, what exactly are you guys? Like, I don't get it. I know you guys are doing something cool, something fun, but I'm not sure what you guys are. And even we didn't really know. We just knew that we were doing stuff that made sense to us and we're having fun. And obviously as time passed, you learn a lot, experience a lot, and you now are able to start to structure things and you're like, okay, we built this, we have these resources, we know these people. How can we then, I guess, transform it into like a business that can scale? Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's something that caught my attention while you were speaking, when you were talking about like how. So you were a rapper because you don't rap anymore.
I mean, I intend to still rap. That's not something I'm killing, by the way. Like that's something I'm taking a pause on.
So you have decided to consciously like say, okay, I will do this and I will come back and I'll do this.
Yeah, like I'm in my hustling phase right now, you know, and I've been for a few years. I'm like actively building business. So it's like how I see it is I started off as a creative, like a core creative. Even before I was actively rapping, I was writing. Like I had like I used to run a blog in UI.
Yeah.
I won Poet of the Year in uni, like in final year in University of Ibadan. Like that's how much I was into like literature, poetry and writing and stuff. And then it became music. Like I liked music, but I wasn't actively like recording. Then it became music. And then I had to get into the industry and I realized that, okay, let me put myself on the back end a bit and push my friends or other people I knew. Because obviously amongst all of us was like, I was the person that sort of the strategic person. So I was like, okay, let me just focus on like promoting Veda, like all these are guys that were making music. And somehow that decision became like a thing where I now became an exec. I found myself being an exec.
You like I sort of stumbled into it.
Exactly, I stumbled into it. It wasn't like I was planning to be. And I got to a point where I had to tell myself, okay, now I've realized what has happened. Is I don't even have the time or the mental energy to sit down and like write like stuff anymore or like just do artsy stuff anymore. And I'm like, I acknowledge what is going on, but it's needed for me to get to where I need to get to. So let me put my energy into morphing into becoming a business executive and understanding how business works and also developing the personality type that's needed to be a successful businessman. Because I think that that's something that's sort of understated. Like I had to change even some parts of who I am as a person to be able to function as a CEO. Because it's like in the beginning, even though we're doing cool stuff, I didn't know how to talk about money. Like I couldn't
it was like
be on a call and be like, oh, this is how much we want to charge. I'll be like, okay, we'll do it for free. Like I was so we'll do it for free because I was avoiding the conversation about money.
And I do remember this stage.
Yeah, there are many things people will be like, oh, WeTalkSound, okay, can you do this? I'm like, okay, don't worry, we'll do it, no problem. And I had to consciously like start to develop that muscle. Like, yo, guy, if you're really trying to take this thing to another level, it could be a cool, fun thing you're doing. That's one option. If you're trying to take it to another level, you have to develop certain muscles that are not necessarily natural to you to be able to make the decisions, you know, hire people, lead a team, be able to give feedback, criticize stuff. Like, you don't have to be like a nice, soft person all the like. I'm naturally like very soft, but like you have to develop certain traits that will help you lead better. So I had to take some years of like going through the fire to become like a good, well-rounded person that can have both sides and exhibit
sides of
them.
being a creative and being an exec.
Now I feel like I'm getting close to the point where we reach that sustainability where I'm now able to take a backseat a little bit and now go back into the things I actually love, which is like, music. Even listening to music is like a chore. Like what I listen, like my music, like the actual music that I listen to is hip hop. Like it's like Joey Badass, Earl Sweatshirt. Like that's my shit. But these days I don't even have, like I just find myself playing the popular Shea. Like if there's one Shea Vibe song I like, I'd rather listen to it 100 times on repeat.
It's also an age thing though.
Than listen to like an Earl Sweatshirt album. Like Earl Sweatshirt dropped his new album and I've not even played it yet. So, but I know that it's an age thing, but I also know that it's a mental bandwidth thing. Like there's points where you're just doing so much that you can't, just listen to the thing that'll give you instant gratification.
Yeah.
So I want to also like slowly get back into that creative space, like music, writing, making music, discovering while I'm an exec. So I like Tech of SDC, for instance. Like that's someone that I'm like, I like what this guy has been able to do with the balancing thing. So I'll still definitely get back to making music.
I have another question for you, but we must address the fact that Melody just walked into the studio. Melody, this podcast comes out, video out on YouTube on Monday, and streaming audio on streaming platforms also on Monday, where you can catch what was said earlier about you to the audience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't say anything.
What did you say?
He said everything.
I said that you can catch it on Monday.
Okay, I'll catch it on Monday anyway.
On Monday.
But yeah, that part where they're like,
to our YouTube
whatever.
channel.
I should subscribe to our YouTube
Yes,
channel.
subscribe. And catch it on Monday.
But yeah, I really apologize. Like I was struggling and trying to get here on time. But yeah.
Thank you for coming still.
Why you think? Thank you for coming. But anyways, that conversation that you were having where you said the struggle to listen to music, I feel like it's not spoken about enough because I do not understand it.
Yeah.
As a person, like I feel like as a person naturally, like when I started out on radio, like my entire MO was looking for, emerging artists. I literally had a whole vlog that was dedicated to upcoming melodies. Yes, no, that
every pick 5 people.
Pick 5 artists every week. I was always so excited to go on SoundCloud, find the new guys that are popping. These days,
yes,
it's like what's the strength? And that was people are playing. Okay, so that energy of like going to find new artists or like just intentionally being the one to search is not long. Like it's not there anymore. And there are so many guys now that are doing really good music. And I feel like it's even easier now for underground guys, for emerging guys to be found. Back in the day, it used to feel like a whole lot where certain people, like maybe me and other people, like would be spotlighting and be looking for
an angle.
But now, before you even spotlight, they're there, they're okay.
Yeah, I have an angle to that conversation. There's something that I think. I think that apart from us as individuals, this thing happening to us as individuals who work in the music space, I think that in general, Nigeria and Nigerian music culture is no longer in the space where we're keen on discovering and like listening to music from emerging artists. I think that commercialization has made everyone just face the mainstream. There was a time when hear me out. There was a time when 2016, 17, 18, it used to be a thing of pride to listen to people that
do you understand? And be the one to even tell the next person, like, guy.
This is also this was also the same era as the Alter era.
Yes, like it used to be a thing of pride. Like
you
used
you're
to
the one,
find things
I'm telling
and you
people.
share. People were like, who is the new guy? Send me links.
Even on social media, and I had the conversation.
We all just want to listen to freaking Ashake, Rema. Like the enthusiasm from even the regular music listeners is not there again.
I think.
Are you sure?
He has a point. But I think it's not. This thing happened. It's real. What you described is real, but it's not all organic.
What do you mean?
I feel like that commercialization happened with the fact that Afrobeats or Afrobeats became an agenda.
Yeah.
And money started coming for Afrobeats and nothing else.
Yeah.
So the major labels started coming.
And for it to come for Afrobeats, obviously it has to start from the bigger guys. So the money started focusing from biggest to trickling down
to small.
And now there's only a few of that money that will get
right
to
now.
emerging
people from
guys.
like A-list to C-list have deals. Like if you're a new distributor coming in or you're a new label coming in, it could be a bit tough for you to find artists that are available. Per se. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because like A-list, C-list artists have deals.
They all have deals.
Because money has come in. And what's happening, what's not happening with that is that, back to what we were saying was that money came in, and the money that came in came from Afrobeats. You know, when people used to do all this, when people do all this, Nigerians don't support hip-hop, I used to always be, my mind was, I used to be divided about it because I was like, maybe Nigerians are not supporting hip-hop for different, maybe it's what people are, you know, there were different excuses at the time. The music was not local enough, the rappers were rapping in English, and then Amapiano happened. And SA, South Africa, that we were all using to as a yardstick for Nigerian rappers, Amapiano came and shut down SA hip-hop.
Yep.
Shut it down. Like
Control Delete.
Shut it down. Like when I say shut it down, of course I'm exaggerating. It's not like they stopped rapping or whatever. But Amapiano took over.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand? And their rappers were like this.
Ta-da.
Like, okay, you know, everybody was like confused. And I was like, oh shit, that's the same thing that happened here. Amapiano picked off in SA, and all the majors and the big distros over there pumped money into Amapiano. So they pump money for it on the radio. They pump money for it on the TV. It's literally what happened here with Afrobeats. The major labels came here, the distros came here. They pump money for Afrobeats on the talents, on the radio, on TV, and it's all over the place. And the rest cannot compete.
And it's a share of mind thing. Like there's only so much. The rest
cannot compete.
There's only so much you can, as a listener, you can manage at the same time. Yeah. If like all the big guys are competing, and the frequency of music release is another thing. It's like there was a time when you'd get an album, one album in 3 years from your big artist, and then you drop singles. Now it's like Ashake has dropped another album, so
and he has to drop another one next year.
All I heard through last year, all I heard through last year was Ashake's album, because like I like Ashake's music and I'm a casual music listener. Now he has given me another one to listen to all through the year again to next year, and then there's also Olamide. There's like everybody's dropping. There's
and the way albums work
but wait, but in response to you talking about like the majors bringing in money and focusing on. I don't think that connects to the emerging guys, because even when the majors bring money for Afrobeat, it's like the emerging guys are also doing Afrobeats now.
No, it connects. It connects to them.
Do you think? Let me.
It connects to them, and I'll tell you why it connects to them. Because now, let me even don't start. You came late. You don't have right to talk to it. It connects to them because the emerging artists themselves are now influenced to. They must do Afrobeats. CK didn't start off with Afrobeats.
Oh,
if you remember CK,
he's an Afrobeat.
He's not doing so. CK's music is like
he's found
R&B,
a niche. He has found
Afrobeat. But if you listen to CK's first EP, the one that he featured, what's her name? Bella Lubo.
That EP doesn't count.
No, wait now. No.
Is that CK?
Who the fuck is CK?
Who the fuck is who the fuck is CK now? That one that has Bella Lubo.
I don't know. I think the only project I know of CK to be his first. He
has always been doing like emotional love kind of music.
Yes.
Always, even at the beginning.
See Johnny Drill don't they knack bedu. Understand what I'm saying? Johnny Drill don't they knack bedu because it is what the market is saying.
Demanding for.
And the labels are spending money. They must make it back. Do you understand? It's just that with Maven are trying to find a way to make sure that the Johnny Drill bedu is not far from that his original thing. Yeah. It's not very far. It's not very far.
But it's
not like you see Johnny Drill start saying Ibadi. No, he won't do that. It doesn't make sense.
But I think that the more interesting angle of this is it's the consumer behavior. The industry part is pretty straightforward. No, but it's like what has changed consumer behavior.
For the consumer behavior one, right? I don't think it's a thing that the consumers are no longer like paying attention to those guys, because at the end of the day, a lot of the things that these consumers take, or a lot of things that these consumers like taking, we're the ones who give them. So if the people who are the the front, the people who are supposed to be championing these conversations are literally not even interested, are literally like brain drained, and they are not putting in that effort to start searching for those songs and putting it at the forefront. The consumers won't necessarily
I agree.
go
I see what you're
brain
saying.
drained.
No,
Brain drained.
what are
Like
you
tired,
brain
like
drained.
exhausted.
What are you?
Exhausted.
What are you talking about?
Major go carry back.
No,
Give-
you're not listening.
No, okay,
Who
it's
do you-
money.
Explain again.
Wait,
I agree with what
no,
you're saying. I agree
you
with
are
what
not
you're
listening to what I'm
saying.
saying.
Explain again.
Who do you
Sorry,
think I'm speaking about for the brain drain? I'm talking about him.
I think it's like
I'm
platforms.
talking about him. I'm talking
like
about me. I'm
media
talking about you.
platforms.
I'm talking about people
And the
who.
people that-
My
Wait,
nigga is doing roll out for Davido and
Exactly,
reminiscing.
that's why it is money.
Exactly. So wait,
That's why
I
it's
hear you.
money.
Wait now. So I hear that money conversation. Wait.
Yeah.
Then I'm also saying that aside from the money, so if he's saying, aside from the money conversation, he's also talking about how another
personally,
reason.
I'm not-
Personally,
yeah,
he's
I
not
hear
looking
you.
for
I
the
see what
music.
you're
I
saying.
am not looking for the music.
No, but that's why.
Am I the ruler for Davido?
Melody, I hear you.
So I'm just saying the people, wait now, you know how they always say that the people, what's that I can't remember now, like the tastemakers, not like tastemakers, the people who like bring the music to the forefront.
Yeah.
You know, the stations, the social media people that are interested, that used to do all that work, and no longer doing the work. So the consumers come on Twitter and whatever song people are talking about,
And
they'll
they
go and
check-
check
they
it.
go to the
They'll go
charts and they just listen to
yes.
what-
Or they
and
go
I
and
think
check
that-
Excel's page. They
but
say
where
it's sitting
Excel-
Davido.
where it ties to
but
money-
back in the day, we used to do all that work of going to look for the artists.
Where it
Now,
ties to money is that, and I was saying this earlier today, we had this No Music Day Niger.
Yeah.
I actually gave a shout out to you. I said you're one of the first people to play our music. Yeah. So I think where money comes in is that if I use us as a case study, when we started, it was all we're doing it because
For
we
the
like
love.
music, right?
Yeah.
Yes, for the love. And we were younger. So
And you didn't have
we didn't have
bills.
that many responsibilities. Now, and also the industry
didn't have
wasn't
bills.
the industry simply wasn't as profitable from a financial point of view then. Like it's not
Then.
like now where money is hanging everywhere. And same for many other platforms. When we started, a bunch of platforms started after us, influenced by what we were doing.
Yeah.
All of us were like the hot thing was like, who is the first plug to the like people used to come to us a lot because they knew that we had so many artists within our community, so much talent.
Yes.
It was talent based, like it was about talent.
It was talent based.
Then things got we didn't even have a rate card. I remember that for like the first maybe 4 years of WeTalkSound.
Are you serious?
We did not have a rate. People will say, so send your rate card. One person was like, what's rate? In fact, I had this ideology then. I was like, that rate card means that we're selling our like.
Oh my God.
we're monetizing what we should be. Like it was just
Why should we
against
give
my
it for
ideology.
free?
Everybody else had rate card. Like I was like. But at some point, it just did not make sense anymore to operate on that model of
Let me not
like.
speak.
It didn't make sense anymore to operate
Except
on that
those-
model of like, oh, let's
Free.
put on songs we
Yes,
like alone. Then people started
yes.
to buy slots. It now became more around, oh, we want to do Friday playlist. Obviously, some songs are going to make it. But some other songs are like, oh, I want to pay you guys to be on your playlist. It became less about the songs Dolapo and his team likes that he thinks are dope are the ones that make it on the playlist. It became more around who is rolling out this week and this is our race card. So if you pay, then you're gonna.
You get on it.
And that's what everybody does. And you can't blame anyone because the industry is in a phase where it is scaling
Profitable.
up and it is about the commercial value now
Yeah.
and less about the artistic value. Now, what people like us are doing and should do more of is
To still
find people
those
within
guys.
our teams. Because we as
Dedicated.
individuals don't have that bandwidth to do that anymore.
Yes.
Find young people within our teams who are still passionate about what is coming up in the underground
yes.
and then empower them to now become the new us.
Yes.
That is where people miss it because I feel like a lot of people are not doing a lot of that. It's like once you elevate to that next level,
Nobody
you
cares
just,
about.
I don't care about emerging unless the
Yeah.
guy already has numbers and is doing well. Okay, let me now see how I can sign him or join his team. So you have to empower the like 21-year-olds, people in Unilag that know the guys that are popping there and give them a platform as well. Or give them space on your platform.
This thing you have gone, I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
But let me just announce that we are going on a break.
Okay.
And we'll be back shortly. In case you miss anything we talk about, the full podcast, the full episode will be out on Monday on YouTube and on streaming platforms. Check it out. We'll be back soon.
But the audio is still going on.
Yeah, we're still talking.
Yeah.
Now, this thing you said, I 110% align with you on the fact that I still try to look for new people, new creatives.
Yeah.
I'm always doing that because I have become very disappointed with New Music Friday. 2015, 2016, 2017, New Music Friday with a run go down, with a run go check waiting they happen. You know, you go hear some slappers, some bangers.
Yeah.
I remember when at least you go Fridays, go to exclusives or not just okay, sit down, download happily. Hear one or two bangers.
Music. I feel like music fell off.
Did music fall off, or are we just too lazy to do the work?
No, it's two things. It's two things. One, there's still a lot of unknown great music out there. There's still a lot of unknown great music out there. So that's one. So music technically did not fall off.
It didn't really fall off.
Two, the second problem, the opposing argument is that the barrier for entry in music is so low right now that niggas that are not as talented
can come in,
have albums
and if they
EPs out there.
And if they have resources, they're gonna be ahead of.
Do you understand?
Whoever.
So there are a lot of people, and the music space is such an incredible space because you could be a singer and even know how to sing well, and you will never find fulfillment as a singer. You will find it more as an exec.
Yeah,
it's a thing. And sometimes I know certain people who are musicians, and I look at them, I'm like, you would be a great A&R. You would be a great A&R, but for some reasons, I don't know. You can't. And then I see some people that I see that can even be both. That can be the musician, and be the A&R. One of those is Remy Baggins.
Yeah,
Remy Baggins easily is a musician, and he's also going to be a great A&R. I know he's not ready for it now because he's still building his own music career, but in the future, you guys go and hold Remy Baggins' neck to be an A&R and work with creatives, because that man has a lot of talent he must put out from his body. Now, in terms of like working with younger music enthusiasts, another thing that has happened is that the music ecosystem in Nigeria is cool. It's like the music business itself even is becoming pop culture.
Yeah, it is.
Not just the music and the musicians. So
Absolutely.
the music business space in itself is becoming pop culture.
Yeah.
It became a thing. Everybody wanted to be an A&R, you
brother.
know. The A&R joke ran for a couple of years.
It's still running, bro.
No, but it's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah, it's not as bad.
Okay. The A&R joke is still running. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. If you missed any of what we talked about, please catch it on Monday when the full audio and video drops on YouTube. Now, because the music business space itself has become this cool thing, everybody sees it online. Young people see Asa at Wireless, you see Bezo at here, you see David Avante, you see niggas sharp moving and doing things. You want to be dapper. Do you understand? I feel like, and it's just the nature of the business. I don't think it's intentional. It's the nature of the music business to come up as glory, as this exotic, sweet sailing, smooth, glorious thing.
Yeah.
When it is actually the ghetto.
Of work.
And it is a lot of work and a lot of pain.
Yeah, it is.
And a lot of tears.
Absolutely.
Niggas have spent money and have not seen it back in years, and they keep pushing and they keep finding another artist and working with, and finding another one and working with, and finding another one and working with. Like, if you sit down with a lot of these people that you look up to, they didn't just stumble into the success. They went through a lot of hardship. I feel like we've not done a good job of making that known. And a lot of times when I have conversations with the younger music business enthusiasts and the younger music business professionals even now, the conversation with them is, oh, I'm all about my bag, the bag. I get it, you know. It's a pop culture speak. Everybody wants to get the bag. But life is in process. Life is in stages. Life is in phases. Like, you cannot jump from being stage 2 to the big bag.
But some people actually do.
And they don't last.
Did they all go through the processes?
Not and they don't last. And they don't last.
So you see back in the day.
Show me one person and they don't last. Show me one.
You see back in the day, we used to have conversations where we say things like, oh, someone's an artist. You have to go through this process where, you know, you go through discovery stage, where we used to give props to, you know, record labels like them, Mavens that would do like artist development for like 3-4 years. Some artists are just blowing up on social media. They're not going through that artist development.
And they don't last.
Are you sure?
I don't know what's lasting.
They don't last.
Are you sure? What's lasting?
Music landscape.
Because there are artists who go through artist development and go through the entire process and they still don't blow.
Melody, I'm not even talking about you took it to artists. I'm talking about music
Execs,
business professionals.
Okay,
so
cool.
even for artists, it's even different.
Uh-huh.
For music professionals, right? You have to be really grounded and know what you and
But
learn.
you can't blame people who came.
I don't blame them.
Who came in the time when
I don't
money
blame them.
is
Money.
the
It's not their
current-
fault.
Yes.
and
It's not
not the
their fault.
love
Like-
of the industry.
Yeah,
like-
or love for the music.
It's
And
what
there's,
it is.
and
Like
there's
tech,
so many.
it's like tech, bro. Like everybody's trying to. Why is everyone trying to be a dev or a UX designer or whatever? It's because you've seen
Tech
how
bros.
much tech guys earn or how much
I
Google
can't blame
pays or
them.
how much whatever.
The conversation
There was a
that
time when it wasn't that cool or pretty,
Yeah.
and some people were doing like
I can't
it's the
blame
same
them.
thing.
And guess what? Even the conversation around tech, everybody wants to be like tech bro. And
It
everybody
is
wants to be
money
tech sis.
driven.
It's like 2020. In 2023 now, right? If you go on social media, the way people were going crazy and talking about like tech, I wanted to be like a tech bro and tech sis.
Yeah.
2 years ago, it's not the same thing now.
Yeah.
You don't slow down.
The
small.
conversation has reduced.
Yeah,
Because,
because like the market is
saturated.
Is not, no, it's not even just saturated. The market for tech this year hasn't been good. Layoffs
Yeah, they've been
everywhere.
layoffs everywhere.
So obviously it's not.
also
It's
for-
not
even-
as
even
fire.
for the-
VCs
even-
aren't really investing as well.
Yeah.
As much now.
And even for the music exec,
So,
and even that
it's a wave
having
thing.
that conversation around the music execs and saying that, oh, some people just want to be about the money. There's so many music execs that have put in like their love, put in their blood, put in everything into artists, and they didn't get anything back.
Yeah.
And those young ones that are coming in now,
Yeah, that's why I say you don't
Those
blame
ones
them.
too will
No.
now sit down with those ones. Yeah, don't stress for anybody, yo.
No, and
Don't do
that's-
this for
you see
anybody,
the-
yo. They'll
you
throw
see
you
the-
out of the
you
this
see the
thing.
thing
So
in
people go
life,
in and let
eh?
me get my bag.
In life, it's very important to know, how do I say this? Your place in the ecosystem. If you are a pioneer of a movement, you will suffer.
Yeah,
If you pioneer a movement,
for sure.
you will suffer.
I
Do you
can see
understand?
that.
If you pioneer a movement, it's because of lack of education or lack of like, we did not document a lot of our history well. So shout out to the people trying to do that now.
No.
Yeah.
That we think that, of course, and this is not to take away from what the Burners, the Davido, the Wizkids are doing now. They are doing incredible stuff. But King Sunny Ade and people and other people were shutting down foreign tours years ago
Yep.
before we were born. Before some
and
of us were
people
born.
don't talk about it.
Do you understand? So it's like, but those people too, they paved the way, and even for them, there are people that paved the way for them that we don't even know about.
Yep.
And those people too go don't suffer.
Yep.
Do you understand?
Like,
Like,
and those people even had like managers, road managers, execs and
The
all of
same
this. You see the
structure
way now
that is a big deal and is new now. I invest
Yeah.
no,
New.
nothing's
it's
new.
nothing
It's not
new.
new.
And also the way we are able to have the conversations now and say maybe in the next 10, 15 years, the music execs that we have now that are at the front of these conversations, that are using social media, that are popular, will not be erased the way those ones managers were
Yeah.
erased. Because we don't
I mean,
even
they
know.
can't, they
We don't
can't.
even know some of them.
Just because the
Social media
internet
alone.
exists.
So do you understand?
social media alone, they
Bro,
can't.
I mean, we don't even know some. Those people did like really hard work, so much work that
A
nobody's talking about.
Instagram post about music or a musician or a music exec is literally a historical document.
Yep,
if you look
it's
at it like
equivalent
that.
to something
It's
in some
equivalent to a
museum
historical
somewhere.
document.
Because
Yep.
like,
Do you understand?
Documentation, yeah.
Yeah, so I get that, but it just worries me because now what ends up happening is the detriment of the music itself.
itself, yeah.
When
I'm about
people
to
don't
ask.
care about pop culture, it reflects in the art.
I think
what
that's
you
a
mean?
phase. I think it's gonna circle back. I think
it's happening. I think it's even happening
yeah.
already.
I
So
think
what
it's
you
gonna
mean? Say that
circle
again.
back.
When people don't care about art or about pop culture, when they don't genuinely love it,
Yeah.
when they don't genuinely love pop culture or love
Or love
music
the art.
or love the art,
Okay.
it reflects in the art they work on.
Or the quality of what is turned
Yeah,
out.
it reflects in the quality of the art they
Yeah.
work on how they do it, on how they roll
And
it
how
out.
much they're willing to
You
like
understand?
push to just get like if we look back at even like WeTalkSound and the things that like we actually did work. Like it was not
I remember.
it was
No.
not it was like literal, it was
I
like
remember.
what when you say going from zero to something like actual zero, like
I
there was
remember, I
no
think that-
background, no funding, no knowledge,
Just
nothing.
community.
It was just people that were,
Just
we were not even
community.
in Lagos. Like, maybe if we even were in Unilag, would have been a bit more exposed to the industry.
Yeah.
We're in Ibadan, so it's not even like we
Come
saw
on.
anything
In
that
terms
was
of like
remotely like what
Unilag
we tried to do.
influencing the industry music space,
Yeah.
Unilag fell off.
Really?
Yeah, it
There was
did.
a
I
time,
remember there was a
yeah.
time where
Everything was Unilag.
artists and
Everything.
whatnot were all coming out from Unilag.
Everything, music execs,
But now, like, first of all, artists OAU. I don't know what happened with OAU, but OAU has
Yeah.
done a madness.
They have.
With bringing out crazy talents. I think that I remember like correct me if I'm wrong, one of the peak
Yeah.
periods for WeTalkSound where you guys
Yeah.
really like showed that power of community and strength
Yeah.
was COVID.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
COVID-19.
Clubhouse, bro. Like
Clubhouse
really was a game changer for us.
WeTalkSound
Hey!
Clubhouse room,
Bro.
was the shit.
It was the shit. It was the shit.
Many fights, many arguments.
Nah, man, that was live.
Many
It was
banter,
fire. It was
like we
fire.
will be there till 2
Till 2
a.m.,
a.m.,
3 a.m.,
Arguing.
5 a.m. Nah. That was such a
And
sweet
you know
era.
the thing, again, it's the way things connect to other things and inspire other things and make things happen. There are people who, I think one key thing that Clubhouse room did was that it brought together people
Like minds.
in the diaspora.
Yeah.
And us here.
They did.
There are people in the diaspora that were doing their thing. Like, you know, I have a bunch of people that are my friends now.
Yeah.
That were from Clubhouse.
They were doing their thing. Like Emmanuel, Palm Wine Papi.
Yep. Janine. Do you remember Janine?
Yeah, I remember Jaylene. Even Gracie them. That's how we all met.
We all connected
Ayo,
to Gracie
Taj,
actually, Daisy May.
Daisy,
It was all
El,
through with that
Toby
clubhouse
and
room.
KP, Belema.
That's
how.
good time.
So
Shout
it was
out
like
Belema.
these guys were doing cool stuff abroad, and they were looking at the scene at home, but there was no direct
Connection.
Connection.
Yeah.
And you know what happens when you talk? You're in the same room with someone every night for like months. You've never
Friends.
seen the person before. You don't know anything about the person's life,
Become
but it feels
after
like
friends.
yeah. And then like they would come to Nigeria, would link up. When I went to London last year, like I saw El, I saw Toby, like, and just those things. I now see people that are met from those rooms working together.
Yeah.
People getting jobs off of like
yes, the link up.
the link ups
People
are
enter
crazy.
relationships. Even.
Palm Wine Papi's Twitter space is probably the most important
Twitter
space on music
right now.
that's consistent right now. And it
That's
started from
consistent,
our
yeah.
clubhouse, from
Right now.
WeTalkSound's clubhouse before it broke out into its
Yeah.
own thing. So that's how I see the role that WeTalkSound plays. Outside of us being a company and us trying to make money, it's that even the movement that is happening in Nigerian music today, WeTalkSound has contributed a chunk to it. If you start weaving all the threads of certain things that were done, compilation albums. When we started doing LOFN, it wasn't that because we saw someone else do that, but after then, a bunch of people have done. Even the way we present on like our media formats, when we started doing it, that's not how people were doing it.
Yeah.
Platforms that came after, and what we saw was that what took us 4 years to achieve,
People are doing it in
these
shorter
guys
time.
came and did it in 1-2 years.
Yeah.
Because like 49th Street literally came, TXT Mark, Upper End, all these guys came because like we had to do all the like we didn't even know how to think. We tried different things. Who?
It's Folu Ibadan.
Yeah, Folu is Ibadan. Went to same
TFC
high school.
Yeah, what's his name?
Koti is Ibadan. Went to the same high school.
I say it's an invasion. Ibadan
Like-
people are invading the industry. We
So
gotta put a stop.
I think that the
He said we gotta put it down.
They're invading.
no, you can't stop it.
can't stop with that.
She's just joking.
You
she's
can't
just
stop,
joking.
like, no,
But
wow.
you know, back in the day, you really used to be Unilag. But now,
Yeah.
as someone who like started this and seeing all the other guys coming after and it's taking them a shorter time, does it make you feel a type of way?
No, it doesn't
Because
because
if anything, it should make you happy.
it makes me
Yeah.
like when all these guys started, we actually like when 49th Street started, for instance, like we did a lot of stuff with them.
Yeah.
To serve
I
as like a
remember.
launch pad for them
For
to
the-
come in.
yeah.
When Turntable started, same thing. Like for me, it's always about
The connectivity, like
because I feel like if you help people create a better ecosystem,
You know
it
what I just
reflects back on
remembered?
you.
You know
as
what
well.
you complained about? No,
What?
not complained, but what you shared about like how you started and you don't know how to have like those money conversations.
yeah.
I literally remember Folu having the same problem.
Yeah,
I literally remember Folu having the same problem. And I remember
it doesn't come native to you if you're
yeah, and I
creative to talk about
remember
money.
we sat
It's
down
like,
somewhere. We sat down somewhere to have lunch. I think it was CCX, and I wanted him to run a campaign, and I think they had not been paid before for a campaign. Like
Damn.
they just do it for friends, literally, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was like, my nigga, take money, like. Shout out Folu now.
Like, the
Shout out
thing is,
Folu. And now
I
Folu
feel
has
like-
grown into
Folu is
a monster
Folu,
in the music business.
Folu is a beast.
He's a beast now. in the music. It's good to see people
I think
grow,
that
man.
it's also like
good.
just in the wiring of creatives. In like
I was
when-
to say that it's not
when
just
we're
about
coming
you guys. Even me, I used to
Yeah.
struggle a lot. In
There's a
money
wiring. It
conversation.
feels like you're selling your soul once
Yep.
money is involved.
Don't do it.
But I think the creatives are coming
I have
now.
melody stories playing.
Excel.
But I think the creatives are coming now.
I really really struggle
go.
with it.
I feel like the creatives that are coming now will not feel the same way, by the way.
No, they won't.
The creators that are coming now, I've already seen more. They've
The
very
bag.
advanced. They
The
are
bag,
coming for
the
the money.
bag. Everybody-
When we were coming up,
And it's
money,
not
it
in the
felt
bag.
like the art was the
the most important thing. Like, oh, so long
thing,
as
a
the
defining
art is
thing that
good.
you can't mix it with money.
But how do
Money
we
ruins
now?
things.
How do we teach?
You gotta,
I want upcoming music business professionals to
Yeah.
be paid. I want them to have
they are getting
money.
paid.
No, I don't want to sound like I'm anti that because
Yeah.
I feel like someone
Oh.
may hear me and think I'm anti
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
I'm not
I
anti
think I
that.
know
I
what you
want
want
them
to
to
say.
get paid.
Yeah.
But
There's also a thing of like sometimes for your own self, for you to grow,
Yeah.
you may find yourselves in situations where you may not get paid, and you know that it sounds like when they say exposure. What I'm saying now wants to sound like
don't pay your
I know the
Intent.
We'll pay you
conversation
with
we're
exposure.
about to
Don't pay your
have.
But
intent.
it's a real thing as a professional, right? That
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
That's work for
you
free.
not even work for free. You might
It's like
even,
you have to delay gratification.
you
I
have
think
to
that's
delay
really-
gratification.
Like whether it's free, whether it's not free,
Whether
whether it's
it's
small
free,
money,
whether it's a shitty
like you have to
situation.
know that I'm doing this thing now for something that may be better in the future.
And guess what?
That's-
You being able to do that
Yeah.
is you gaining experience. And people, I know that
yeah, people are anti that.
a lot of people will still not understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You
I
have
hear
to get
you.
to where I am now to get it. But experience cannot be bought.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely agree.
Experience, cannot be bought.
think
But I
it's
also
also-
think that it's also
Go on.
important for us to, when we're having the conversation and speaking on the delayed gratification, and
Yeah.
sometimes you have to learn that when you're starting out somewhere, you might not necessarily have to put money at the front of it. That a lot of times people take advantage of it,
Yes.
especially in a system and as vicious as this music industry, where it feels like everybody's out
Yes.
to take
I'm going to tell you-
advantage. Wait
Absolutely
now, Let me
true.
keep going. When you feel like in this music industry, everybody's out to take advantage of a young person
Yeah.
or someone that they feel like is not knowledgeable enough or is just starting out. It's okay for us to tell them that delayed gratification, but
don't
let's
let
not
someone
forget that a
use
lot
you.
of times people who
Yeah.
have been ahead of you are not necessarily looking out for you. And they do not care if you've not made money. So while we're telling them that, it's also important to tell them that you also look out for your own self, because the economy is bad.
Yeah.
At the time when you started
Things weren't
like
this bad,
4-5 years ago,
to be
things
fair.
weren't this bad.
Yeah.
Now things are so bad.
People really just need to survive.
People just really need to survive and just
buy food.
eat.
Yeah.
So delayed gratification, does that mean you should die?
Nigeria has always been bad. And now
But
let
it's
me
worse.
let me answer. Let me speak to what you're saying. You
Yeah.
don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You don't know. There was a time.
We used to trek from Okoko Michael.
There was a time that
Ogun
this
State.
music business thing made me and my father fight, and my father kicked me out of the house.
Yeah.
And I was sleeping in Foza and Ire's office.
That's crazy.
Before I now started sleeping with I now started staying. My friend now put me in his house, and I started staying with him when he found out what was going on. What's his name now? He's getting married. We spoke today. I can't remember his name.
You spoke today.
Yeah, and I can't
This
remember
is
his
old
name.
age, Excel.
It is. Our guy that is getting married, that is abroad with his babe in the UK. Ugo put me in his house. Do you understand?
Which
Like
Ugo?
Ugo that was writing
For
Ugo-
culture
for
custodian.
culture
Yes,
custodian.
now.
Oh my
That same
god.
Ugo.
You mean
Yes.
in the UK?
I know
He put me
Oh,
in
I
his
didn't know
house
he had moved.
for
Yeah,
free. He put
yeah.
me in his house for free. So and then not long after that, I got a job with Boomplay and whatnot
Yeah.
and whatnot, and I became okay.
And
And
Here you are today.
there are things you will go. So it's like the way I understand it, it's like babies. If you give birth to a baby and the baby is growing,
Yeah.
you can't. If you 100% keep the baby in a clean environment,
Yeah.
you have fucked
Their
up that
immune
baby's
system
immune system.
will not develop. They need something to fight.
Human beings must go through crazy situations.
The problem with this direction
Melody,
of conversation
Melody.
is
See, I know what
people will say, people will always come and make it
We
seem
are-
like you are saying
I know what
you have
I-
to be soft ahead.
And
Yes.
guess what? Guess what?
It's fine.
Dolapo, it's very fine.
Okay.
Because I know the era we are at. We are in the era of emotional whataboutism, mental health.
Yeah.
I get it. But that's why a lot of you cannot work under pressure. And the music business is pressure.
It is.
It is
Nah, it
pressure.
absolutely is. I feel
It is-
like
I don't-
people have no idea how
It is
much
pressure. You see, even the artists
Yeah.
you see flossing them, they video them.
It's
do you know
all-
the
it's all
pressure
smoke
they
screen.
are
It's
under?
a lot of
If you know
work.
the
You know
back,
the work
what's
they
happening on the back end.
It's a lot of work. But yeah,
It's a lot of
so
pressure.
the idea of
That's why we have a lot of half-baked I tweeted one day that we have a talent problem in the music business, and people were throwing shades at me, and it's all good. A lot of you people, they will give you work. I dare here. They will give you work, and I'm not trying to swear for you that you will fail, but what you don't have, you cannot give.
Yeah.
It's just fact. I know what I learned from Ire and Foza, just even sitting down with them. Just sitting down with them and learning and seeing them work. Do you understand? I was there in one situation. I was there on a particular day when I'll never forget it, when somebody tried to pull a fast one on a producer they were working with. And I saw them go to work. Song, they took the song down.
I've seen
bam,
that.
bam, bam.
I think I saw it with Lola. I saw it with Lola. I saw it with Lola.
And then the person had to call and make it right. Like sometimes people will try you. Do you
And if you don't show them that you
people
say you have
will try
really...
you. People will say, okay, this one, no, if you do anything, we go press them. And you have to respond. You literally have to respond.
Yeah.
And say, no, you can't do that. That's what you should know you're coming into. It's not just bags and all that.
Yeah, but if young people
are cool kids,
it's fine. I hear you. But if people are coming to work with you, they don't have experience and they are learning, still give them some. Like,
absolutely.
Please,
I don't think
these
people
young
should.
people.
I think if you're making money,
yes, if you're making money, pay them.
But
this don't pay your intense thing.
No, there's a trauma thing there where a lot of people feel like because
they have to make people suffer. Yes,
the people coming after me
they have to suffer, and that's not how it should be.
It's a trauma.
Yeah,
I think that it's also an exposure problem.
Oh, yeah,
one thing for me is like I've always, besides everything I've done in the music industry, I've always obviously had like pursued my career like outside of music, right? And I've worked at great places.
Yeah,
I work at Google, like maybe the best place you could work at.
Listen, Google. Listen,
and
I just visit their office, but when I visit, oh my god,
you still work with them though.
He still works with them.
And like you know,
you guys are
being exposed to that sort of environment and that sort of staff welfare, the ideology
changes.
Like it changes.
But you're like the 0.00%.
If you've experienced those sort of, it doesn't make sense for you to not pay. Even if you're paying them 10 naira.
Yes.
Because obviously what you're not earning that much, but you're paying them something. To not pay people at all, to not care about how people feel, all those sorts of things. That's not the thing I have learned from places I've worked at. But music industry people are in the music industry bubble. I feel like most people in the music industry that work full time
don't do other things outside of
that's all they've known. And
that's all they have.
Like a self-reinforcing
like
system
politics,
of
like Nigerian politicians.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like Nigerian politicians.
If you don't put your eyes outside and actually look at what the industries that we're aspiring to be like, tech is a good example because we saw it become what is like in the Nigerian tech ecosystem was not in 2010. What startups were there? So we saw it and we're trying to essentially do the same thing where investments are now coming in. People are, companies are being sold for hundreds of millions of. That's exactly what we're trying to replicate. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, we're trying to make our industry have labels that are like unicorns.
Exactly. And for us to do that, it's the whole picture. It's not just, I want to make the kind of money that Paystack got sold for. I want to sell my. It's like how did Paystack treat their employees to get to the point where they were that great a company? Are you doing the same thing to your own?
Felt that good to be able to show under that
I would like
kind
to
of
be Melody for a minute and play devil's advocate.
Oh my god! Somebody's playing
is that what you?
That's our role on this show.
Oh my god! Why do you say that? I hate you.
There are people who are so poor, and because they are so poor, they are ginger to work hard and succeed.
Yeah.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are
Can't
people
dispute that.
who are very rich, and because they are very rich, they work even harder.
So they don't lose the money.
Absolutely.
People sometimes experiencing either of these extremes
Would
makes you a better
change
staff.
your mind, yeah.
Makes you a better worker. So it is true that staff welfare aids results, outputs. It brings the best out of people. There's also when Elon Musk sacked a lot of people from Twitter, one guy wrote a thread. I think I bookmarked it.
Yeah.
He wrote a thread explaining a certain theory, but the theory basically is that when a company becomes successful, what one person can do, because we are successful and there's money now, we'll start breaking that thing that one person could do into something for 3 people to do.
Yeah. No, that's normal. Yeah.
To reduce workload.
Yeah, and just because like you have so much more, you can hire more people and you won't feel
but if you hire more people, won't you get better output?
Not necessarily. It's not
necessarily. Twitter is not profitable. Twitter was not profitable and it's not profitable now. So when Elon Musk bought it and came and looked at the situation and said, y'all niggas ain't making money and we have this plenty staff, why this? Hey. Go. go. I remember when it happened, people were tweeting now, oh, Twitter will fall. We did here, fall.
I think it's a better product now than it was.
The apps still they run.
How is it a better product?
People are making money. And we have
creators
we have community
money.
notes. That's such a great.
We have
people
community
talking about that thing like
What's
it's such a great feature.
Community notes.
That when you cap, the thing just says
when you
this
lie,
thing is false.
when you say something, when
That's
when
such
the
a
story
cool
is
feature.
posted, when the tweet is posted that it's not true or is
I've never seen it before.
Or doesn't paint the full story.
Yeah.
You see community notes on that say, oh, this is the community notes gives more context.
Is it for everyone?
No, it depends. No, if you tweet something that can be.
No, I'm saying that is it like a feature that everyone has access to?
It's not a feature. You're not the one doing anything. It's their team that.
There's a
if
team
they see a tweet that is misinforming,
and it's going viral and becoming big, they'll correct it.
They've even put community notes on Elon Musk's tweet.
Yeah, well.
So I'm saying that can everyone see it?
Yes.
Yeah,
you
Because
see.
I've been spending less time on Twitter. Maybe that's why I've
You
never
see
seen
it.
it before. I
Everybody
didn't
can
even
see it.
know.
That thing is brilliant.
I've never seen it
So
before.
you're paying creators, you have community notes. Now he announced that you can now do video and
and you can now put full length videos
without
on
scene,
there.
without number.
And they are trying to go into payments as well. But anyway, Elon Musk is by the way.
The ultimate app is what that man is trying to build.
I think that in terms of what you're saying, the way companies like successful tech companies get it right, like Google, would be hire entrepreneurial and ambitious people.
I agree.
You have to hire people that will get stuff done because that's who they are and they want to get this thing done because it's tied to their personal goals. And that's what I try to do these days. When I don't hire anyone, it's like, what are you trying to become in the industry? What are you trying to do? I want to know what your goals are and tie it to what your work is, so that as you are growing, I'm growing, my company is growing, we're all growing and we're all winning. And when you get to the point where it's clear that this place is too small for me, I want to go and work at Spotify or I want to work at Universal, I will help you facilitate that happening. So that way, I'm not, because there's a thing where when you're working and you don't see how you're collecting your salary, you're doing your job, but you don't see how what you're doing connects to what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
There's a cap on how much you put in because like why I go kill myself for something where I don't even understand where they take me.
For
I
me,
think
like
people should hire better.
For me, like that thing you just said now, this last thing you said is how I've always moved in my career because I see even though I'm a exec per se, I see myself as a creative a lot of times, and I think even that's how execs too, depending on what role you're playing, should see yourself at times. So if I'm in a place and I'm working in a place where the work we do has become
robotic, monotonous,
I get bored quickly and I'll resign. I'll resign and be without a job, and I think I can afford to do that because I am Excel now.
Because you have money.
No, apart from even that, like I have people. I think your greatest strength in life
is actually your networks.
It's people, it's connections, people you can call and say, let's get this done. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. So I can do that. I can afford to do that because I am Excel now. But I feel like labels now, bringing that theory you just shared of the kind of people to hire into music labels, I feel like labels need two types of execs.
Okay.
Execs that think like product managers and execs that are also all about like music. They know great music because it's still a problem. We still have a problem of people putting out music that's not great. It's a problem that exists.
Yeah.
You know, and it will always exist. It's just what it is. Do you understand? So how do we have people that know that, okay, we've created this thing? How can we push it out? How can we market it properly? Like even outside of music, one of the things that has blown my mind away the most this year is Taylor Swift's tour. Right? It's such a successful tour, but it's not just a successful tour. The thinking behind the tour, they made the tour family friendly. So parents can come, children can come, like anybody can come. There is merch for mommy. I saw one actor, I can't remember the guy's name, the Magic Mike guy. I can't remember his name. I saw him with his daughter at Taylor Swift show, and he had merch. It's me, hi, I'm the daddy, it's me. And that's anti-hero. That's lyrics for anti-hero, but they flipped it to. I'm like, this is brilliant thinking.
Yeah,
like this is so smart.
Yeah,
do you understand? Like, and so I was talking with some music creatives, and I was like, some of you just do what everybody does. Like, and that's the problem with the social media era. People tend to do what everybody does because everybody's doing it. Nobody sits down to think and say, but is it working? Is it actually working?
Yeah.
And then working is now in different variety. If you're doing it for numbers, okay, you know that this thing you are doing for social media number, Instagram likes, we're going up. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If you are doing it to say you want to have a career with longevity, or you're trying to build a community, is it working? Like, what are you trying to do? So first of all, there are a lot of talents that don't know that don't have a plan in general for themselves. And then there are execs that are coming into that chaotic situation who they themselves don't have a plan for themselves or for the talent. We're just going.
I have a slightly controversial opinion.
Go.
And that I've been sharing to people that I know. I think that I personally, and people will probably not like this, but
it is what it is.
Whatever. I personally don't think that people who are, or let me say it this way, when someone comes to me or when I meet someone and they tell me that I'm a talent manager or an A&R, for some reason it just feels a certain kind of way to me, especially like I'm not any talent manager or A&R. I mean like emerging, like someone who's like young, they don't know anything in the industry, and maybe they're full-time working with their friend who's an artist. I just feel like these things don't give you tangible skills. I just have a problem, maybe because I'm a corporate guy.
So it's like,
I have a problem with
like what
the idea of like spending some like years of your life not gaining tangible skills. I feel like people should go and like, you can be an A&R
I 100% support this.
But you should go and work. Like, go and work as a social media associate at 49 Street.
Or digital marketer.
You don't like the power of experience and actually learning skills, like actual skills, is so underrated. Roles and positions that you are not, there's nothing to show. Like, okay, how do I judge a good A&R? Like, if you say I'm an A&R, I've been doing this for 2 years, I'm working with my friend. What's the metric for me? Like, there's nothing I can't hold on to anything. And what I find these days is, with even hiring, is that when you now put out, like, you say, oh, I want to hire a content person, or I want to hire a strategist or whatever, people will now send CVs, and what to be on their CV will be that they've been managing their friend, they've been A&Rs, but the artist is not yet, doesn't have any traction at all. Like, the artist has like 50 listeners on Spotify. Like, there's nothing, you can't tell me anything. Can you like work with spreadsheets? Can you build decks? Can you design stuff? Like, I feel like people should prioritize actual tangible skills in the beginning of their careers. Even if you're managing an artist by the side, or you're A&Ring by the side, doing something full-time that doesn't give you any transferable skill. If you now do it for 3 years and you now are like, oh, I don't want to do this thing anymore, you enter the job market, what will you say that you've learned that is tangible and that you can show?
Transferable skills.
And I think that's a problem that I have. Like, it's something that really irks
Dolapo,
me.
you have no idea. This is probably the most brilliant thing I've heard about the music business in a long while. And it's so important.
But wait, so I hear Dolapo and I understand what he's saying, right? And I hear you. And I also feel like it's not only like a talent manager thing or A&R, because I feel like when people want to talk about these things in the music industry, they're always those guys that
are the low-hanging fruit.
Sorry, A&Rs are always
a low barrier entry. Like, very easy to become an A&R.
So the problem now is it the fact that the job itself, the job description or the job itself has a low barrier entry point? Or is the fact that people who are in that position are not necessarily doing everything that you should be doing as an A&R?
They can't even do everything they are supposed to do because of what Dolapo just said.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Melody.
Because if you're an A&R, that encompasses a lot. I feel like we have probably...
I think we should start from like, where did A&R start? Where did A&R start?
We always just reduce...
Typically, isn't it like people on majors?
I feel like people just reduce... People
9 to 5 people on majors who their job is to find artists and develop them.
Yeah.
The independent A&R, the concept of the independent A&R is slightly problematic to me,
because an A&R is a lot of work. You're going to go and seek talent,
because there's no structure you're doing it within, so there's nothing that's like...
But we simplify it to just sit down in the studio and listen to music, but that's not
work.
And
the A&R journey is very interesting, because they are like, so they are A&R administrators. They are the people who like do the business side. There are A&R coordinators who are like in the studio.
And then they're like
the talent guys,
scouts. There are people that actually look for talent.
And the A&R journey is literally from...
Because they are not still work with documents. You really work with documents too.
Yeah, but if you're indie and you're managing your friend...
That doesn't count.
You're probably gonna have all your conversations on WhatsApp. And you guys...
Do you understand? He has a point. Like I said, this thing he just said is so important. Because like now, if you're an A&R, your journey is supposed to be from scouting, finding talent, taking the talent, getting the deal done, finding the right producer, finding the sound, crafting a single, a demo, a project, the branding. Then you make the music. Okay, how are we marketing? Then we market.
You need decks to do all those things.
When you not export,
so in the ideal of
when you not experience problems,
exactly.
We know that that's far from the reality.
When you now also experience problems in the market, how do you react? How do you re-strategize? So it's actually a lot.
It's a great role.
And you just made me remember that, like, for me now, I wanted to be, for the longest time, when I fell in love with pop culture, right? I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be Sags Impulse. That's who I wanted to be. So I was writing articles for different blogs. I was writing a lot for Sheun Badejo. I don't even know. Sheun Badejo is engaged, married.
He's like designer. He like does design.
He has left music journalism. He has left. He went abroad with his girlfriend. They're engaged. Have they married now? I don't know. I know they're engaged.
I follow him.
Shout out to Sheun Badejo. You know, like that was what I wanted.
Very important platform.
Very important platform. And then, but at the same time doing this, I was working with. I worked in Transion for a while. I worked with a news app called Scooper. So I was actually writing news articles and whatnot. Then there
was Boomboss.
Then I went before I went to Boomplay. But also even before I went to Transion, I was in a digital marketing agency.
Oh, I didn't even know.
I started out as a social media handler. Then I went from that to I worked in two digital marketing agencies. One I just did internship. Then the next one I started as a social media handler, and then the copywriter resigned, and so they added copywriting to my job. And then from there, I started also traveling around the country for events and entered event management from there. Still for this
same company,
one agency. And I don't think that until you just said it now that I appreciated how much of that experience I brought into the music business.
Because and also, I hear you when you say that, but when you were working as an intern, were you getting paid?
When I was working as an intern, no, I didn't get paid.
Wow.
No, I didn't get paid. Guys, we're going on a break. We'll be back shortly. The video and the audio comes out on Monday. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. So yeah, this is actually very valid, like, because a lot of people can't. Man, sometimes I reach out to like artist managers, and this is not even for small artists. So what I'm about to say, it's not for small artists. And I say, send me EPK, and they'll just send me something on Google Doc or like a few lines on Google Doc, and I'm like, ha. That's why when
you've not seen iPhone Notes app screenshots of iPhone Notes app is the document.
Yes, I've seen. That's why when people are complaining that AI is coming to take job, I'm like, nah, y'all niggas ain't even smart enough to use AI first. You wouldn't even know what to feed the machine.
To ask.
You wouldn't know what to. Do you understand? So it just makes a lot of sense, because a lot of people in the music business, a lot of young people coming in now, don't have actual work skills. They can't work.
And some things are really just basic. How to compose an email.
People
pitch stuff to us, because I check all the emails that come to WeTalkSound.
Yeah.
People pitch music without subject in the thing. Some people don't attach the link to the song. Some people attach the MP3 file. Like, there are just some things that you can just tell that this person, just if you had just worked 1 year in any decent corporate organization, you know the amount of stuff that you would know. Yeah. You may not be brilliant at the job itself, but the things you will just pick up: how to send an email, how to write a document, how to use basic Excel or Google Sheets, how to, like, just all those little things. It will stay with you to like forever. But that dedicating that time to just learn things that are important, I feel like they are even human skills at this point. Like, I don't think they are even... It's not a special thing anymore to be able to use docs and sheets and all these things. I think every human being in the world that we're even going into now.
If you don't know how.
Like, so it's something that really pains me. Like, and I try to advise people when they come to me. I'm like, get a 9 to 5. Like, if it doesn't even have to be like a very, shiny 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It could just be at one of these new media, and like, we're always looking for people. Like, all like platforms like us are always looking for people, agencies.
But you guys didn't hire me.
I also even used to have this theory. I also used to have this theory, but before I share that, welcome guys back. Welcome back, guys. I say welcome guys back.
I see what I say.
I'm enjoying myself. Welcome back, guys. If you missed any of the action during the break, the full audio and video is out on Monday.
Excel, and I'm not even joking. And I am not even joking. I'm actually very serious.
Yes, dear.
He refused to. You refused to hire me. Don't lie.
You tried to wait. Hold on.
Why are you doing that?
She just asked me to say that she was like open to certain roles, but I was just like, Melody is like, I don't know.
But guess what? Sometimes in life,
it's a top shot,
No, but sometimes in life, how I see life, and opportunities that are lost, I see it as the good things I have now. Those things may have taken me off track. Yeah. But they may have taken me somewhere.
But back then, I actually wanted to learn. I actually wanted to understand.
When you say back then, it
was like how many years ago? It's not like 2 years ago. It was like last year. Was it?
I think it was probably last year. I don't think
he
it was that far.
He wasn't listening.
I thought she was, to be honest, I thought she was not trolling, but I thought she was just listening. You know how people can just be like, you guys are hiring, like, I'm open.
There's also the problem of, and just because of the way everybody carries themselves now, there's also the problem of when people come and say they want to work with you and stuff like that.
You be like,
start thinking big, like, hey,
absolutely.
Like I remember applying for a job in the music business, and they said, you're too big for this role. I'm like, no, I'm not.
I think that's a valid conversation that should be had.
No, I'm not.
You understand?
It's actually legitimate, because
people be like, no,
for someone like me, I'm just like, how much like do I even have that I'll pay this person? This person is like,
wait, what are you saying?
But the reality of what Excel is saying is that it's actually true.
But it's a thing, because like with
the industry makes you have to appear a certain way.
That,
and when you appear that way, it's not
people feel like they can't pay you.
The reality
Amazingly, people just automatically feel like they can't even have that conversation with you. And sometimes when people are actually trying to work, they're not trying to work for the money. They're trying to get a particular skill or understand certain things. So it's not because of, say, because why would this person want this job? It's not necessarily for the money. Maybe that person was looking for that job at that time because we're trying to achieve something or get something. So it's not always a situation.
Fair. Like, that's a good point.
For me, even like sometimes when like people DM me and say, oh, we want to work with you, what I do is I observe you for a while. So sometimes I will on notifications on your tweets for a while.
Let me see your thought process.
Let me just be seeing.
I agree.
And sometimes you just see that I can't take this
person.
There's
no alignment.
No, apart from even that, I can't take this person to a room where sensitive things are discussed, and I won't see it on Twitter in a few days.
Oh yeah, there's that. And I think even like with the younger guys in the industry, there are certain trends that I see in terms of just like how they just say some things that.
Do you understand?
I mean, like, obviously everybody has the freedom to say whatever they want on social media. I'm not trying to police anyone, but I'm just saying that there are some things that are slightly more sensitive and that may be better left unsaid.
The better statement is you have the freedom to say what you want to say, but be mindful of the consequences
of what you say. Exactly.
And
comes with consequences.
And let's not also forget that most of the time people say these things because they want to prove to people that they were in those rooms.
Or that they know things.
Or they have those accesses. Like, why?
No. See, there's that. Yeah. There's that. There's even also the place of sometimes even these things that are shared, they are not shared in a sense to
educate.
No, they are not shared. The intent might even be right.
Okay.
Maybe they saw something wrong in that scenario, or they saw something wrong happening, and then they share it, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe something related to that thing is a trending topic.
Yeah.
And then I said, that's how I was here. It could come from a good place. Genuinely, it can. But you can have good intentions and be naive.
For sure.
You can have good intentions and not know that people... The best person to use as an example is Motolani. We said it on terms and conditions, and I will say it again. Motolani, because of writing articles and reviewing albums, honestly, right? Honestly, as he believes it to be, and as they are. Certain people said this guy will never go. If he's going to work here, we'll block it. We saw it happen, right? Not to talk of, and that's Motorani that has a lot of connections. Not to talk of somebody that is young. They are just coming in. You see things happen. You have good intentions, whatnot. You just now go and be tweeting. There's this whole everybody's a warrior for justice in this era.
I think that on the flip side of that, it's slightly dicey because I hear you and I agree with obviously using like your better judgment in terms of what you want to say. But I think that the extreme of that is also what has caused another problem in the industry.
100%.
People refusing to speak.
Where
100%.
People don't want to say
negative
certain
things are reinforced because no one has just said
because you don't want to be
anything about
cancelled and because you don't want to be the...
And people keep falling into the same trap myself because no one's going to say...
Nobody wants to bail the cast.
See, let me say this thing to everybody. You, in life, you try not to be a victim of people. If you want to go and be a freedom fighter, congrats, we love you.
Yeah.
You will not reap the benefits. You may have opened doors for people. You may have helped start a conversation that will help people to come. And if you're comfortable with that,
role,
congrats.
I see what you're saying. I see what he's saying.
If you know
it's just
you
like where the consequences.
In that same
if
space,
you know that these people
you are still trying to work in that same space, do business in that same space. Use your head now.
Ultimately, it boils down to a decision you have to make for yourself. There are certain things that I can't say.
You have to pick your battles.
There are certain things that I can't say because I don't see the direct impact of whatever the person. If the person does their worst possible thing, it just doesn't matter that much to me.
But you probably wouldn't have been able to say it like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes,
of course.
Plus, also, I have a career outside of the music industry, so let's make that clear. I'm not completely there's nobody in the music industry that can cancel me.
Bro,
or
when I
make
got
me,
promoted,
even if you do, I'll still have my shit and
when I got promoted in Boomplay from Boombo's media guy to content acquisition manager, my tweeting reduced by half.
Because you're trying to get, these are the people that you are trying to get their content.
Do you understand?
Dissing them every day.
Whoa. Even when we started Terms and Conditions, first episode, I was like, on this show, I am a politician. I am for everybody. Because I'm going to still go and do
exactly. So that's just common sense.
Then you left the job, but you became a rebel again.
As an adult, you have to weigh the potential consequences of everything you're saying and doing.
And this is across all industries.
It's not even just music.
I see a lot of young people, if it's tech, you want to work in that industry, Abi, fine. I hear you. The best route to me is always for you as an individual in that space to garner influence and change things.
Exactly.
That's my own advice on best route. Gather influence. Your guys, gather influence. One of the things I'm always for in every space is if you succeed, put your people on. Put your people on, because all of you have like minds and you can say, okay, this thing no good. We go stop this one. This one, we go continue this one. Whatever. Shall you become influential? Make your circle influential and then change things.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a lone wolf warrior in a capitalist setting, my brother, Elon die.
I agree. I think people should just take the calm route and just think about what you want to say and do, and don't do stuff and then come and cry after and say, oh, why? Some things are the natural consequences of other things, and once
you whatever it is that you do, there are consequences to your actions. At the end of the day.
And social media is really it's a dicey place because especially Twitter, things move too fast on that app. You say something, people have seen. It's for good and for bad as well. There's so many people that don't engage your shit but see you and talk about you in rooms that you're not there.
Of course.
And they're this person. See the way I talked about you earlier today on Twitter. You were not there.
Yeah.
But people have heard that and they're like, who is this person? So things move. And if it was something bad as well, that same way it will move. Yeah. So I guess everybody should just understand the amount of power you have.
You have at the
and
time.
Use that to decide what the battles you can fight and the battles you cannot fight. There's battles that I can fight now because of where I am. But a few years ago,
you wouldn't have been able to.
I was even still trying to get these people to notice me. Guy, this is someone that is doing something in this industry. So I feel just weigh those things. When you're just starting out, be very careful.
It's like when so because I grew up in Aba, and when I grew up in Aba, used to be, it's not as much. It used to be a chaotic city.
Yeah.
Then so there will be like riots for different reasons. There used to be like riots, there used to be like crazy robberies. The robberies were crazy and kidnappings were crazy that sometimes the robbers and kidnappers will send you a letter.
Ahead of them. And even in Ibadan, they used to do that at some point.
Those kind of thing. And then there used to be also like the tribal/religious. Right. So this thing will happen where, like in the north, especially in like Jos or Kaduna, there will be like a tribal or religious fight happening.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes it's religious. Like the religious fight is happening. Let's say Muslims are killing Christians. Unfortunately, there are a lot of Igbo people in the north, and they live in like southern Kaduna where the Christians are. So when they kill some of these Igbo people. When the story comes back to the east, right? It doesn't come back as Muslims killed Christians.
Yeah.
It comes out as Hausa killed Igbos. And then in the east, in about where I am, they'll be like, okay, we are retaliating and killing Hausas here. And I have a aunt in Kaduna. She still lives in Kaduna to this day. Shout out to her. So when sometimes it was so much that when it will start there, she will call us and say, on our own, go activate in like 3 weeks.
That's crazy.
It'd be like schedule, so we know in 3 weeks, a month, on our own go stop. Do you understand? So sometimes we'll be ahead of the curve. We'll leave town. We'll go from Aba to either Port Harcourt or Owerri and whatnot. And then we also now learned that in the town, to even in Aba, even if it's happening in Aba, there are certain places you should not be in Aba, because those places are, for lack of a better word, they are hot zones. Like if anything goes up, it will surely happen there, and it will be terrible. Like they were killing people then, actually killing. Do you understand? That knowledge, and I took it with me and grew up with it. And when NSAS happened, the protest, I was living in Jakonde, and I looked at myself. I said, if I stay in this Jakonde, this protest will get to a peak. I don't know what the peak is, but it will get to that. And if I'm here, this Jakonde is a crazy place on a good day. Not to talk of when this kind of thing they saw. So I left Jakonde. I went to my parents' house in Igondo. Stayed there quietly. I'll come out for protest. Sometimes I won't come from that Igondo to come to Lekki Toll Gate for protest. Go back to that Igondo. I would never sleep just because I was so sure that at some point, and then it happened. The night of the October 20th shooting, the boys in Jacko, the street boys, whatever, they looted Circle Mall like crazy.
Yeah, I remember.
When the police came for Jakonde, they carried every young man. They were just carrying. Anybody that they were just carrying. Whether you go loot or you know loot or just because you did there, they carried. They carried. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And sometimes, certain conversations on social media are like hot zones. When you don't start, just come out. Just use Twitter. Just drop your phone.
Completely agree.
Just go and watch film.
Agree.
Go and hold your girlfriend. Go and hold your boyfriend. Just come out. Don't be... because sometimes the cause is even righteous. It's not even a bad... but it is foolishness to go and join when you don't have any power. They will carry you. I know people that they will say, what about let's do something. This person get wild, this person done. Even with artists, bro. Like, even with artists, I've sat in rooms where maybe like brands are thinking of events and they want to. And you know me now, I'm a music guy, so I'm all about the music. I think this person go perform, go, this one where they done. This one where they
go show up.
This one where they. Some people own is crazy. This one where I greet and no greet me. Bro, like what people hold against you is so wild.
Wild.
And you would not know.
What people hold against you
unless they tell someone and the person tells you,
wild.
You don't know.
Yep.
That's why if you're trying to be a young professional, I remember that period where if you say something on woke or if you did something crazy, people were writing to your university, people were writing to your employer. Bro, do you understand? Like, I see Twitter sometimes as a minefield. And you have to be very careful. Yeah. Especially Twitter. That Twitter gets spirit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You have to be careful.
Very, very.
What you say. But sometimes I tweet things and I immediately delete them. Say, this thing, it's not wrong. I didn't say anything wrong, but I beg.
I don't have the energy.
I don't have the energy, yeah.
I like peace. I like make I sleep well. May nobody call me tomorrow. They say this.
And sometimes, most of the times, you can even be saying something as plainly as possible, and someone will intentionally misconstrue it and say that's what you're trying to say, and fit it into an agenda. And you're like, I wasn't even trying to say
Don
that.
Jazzy. See what they did to Don Jazzy's for our episode. So
where he was saying
Don Jazzy was talking about how he went to on the podcast, how he went to watch The Weeknd for 2 hours and 30 minutes set, and he didn't.
He
wasn't joking.
Yeah.
He even said my artist.
He even said my artist do it, like, you know, but he was so impressed by The Weeknd's performance and whatnot. He just mentioned that in passing, and then someone caught it
part,
without context. Also caught a video of like Wizkid fans at a event, at a concert, and Wizkid holding his water bottle to like spray water, and themselves held their own water bottle, like anticipating it, happy to spray water too. And the person said, Don Jazzy, artists should not spray water. Fans, spray us. We are your something. Like, they're just trying to make it like Don Jazzy is tackling. Yeah, and I'm like, which kind wahala?
That wasn't even what he was saying.
Which kind wahala be this?
Everything is just agenda.
Guy.
Everything just agenda.
I think that the what makes this thing even more difficult is that it's ironic that we know the toxicity of social media and all these things, all these platforms, and all the dangers of over engaging and all of that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we live in a world where it now feels like, and if you are now even in the entertainment industry, it feels like you need social media, like it's like a necessary evil. So how do you?
And also, it's not just about needing social media. You need people think that they need to be in every conversation.
Yeah, and no, I mean, I'm not even talking about social media for the purpose of like activism or even like just. I'm even saying your work, like it almost feels like if in this day and age, and in a space like this, if you're not actively like self-promoting,
that's what I'm saying. Like at the front of conversation, so
I'm always conflicted because to be honest, like if it was up to me, I probably wouldn't be on social media.
Same.
Or I wouldn't talk, like I would only be talking about sweatshirts or like
same actually
all day.
Same.
But like sometimes I'm just like, I have to tweet this one, even if I'm not going to, let me just do this one, just so people remember that there's a Dolapo that is this is that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's so tiring.
Because of who you've become to in the industry, because of who we've become, we also have alliances.
Yeah.
So when our people do stuff, we have
you
to
want to say something, you want to start saying. So it's like, and you just feel, because you also see how visibility plays such a huge role. I remember you saying something, I don't know if it was on the podcast, the former edition of the podcast. I think you said something around like we live in a world of hyper visibility. And that's something that forever, by the way, that's something that I always, like that has stuck to my head. And it's like, it's such a difficult place to be in.
Very difficult.
Because like it feels like if you're not tweeting today, like I did Grammy submission, I was like, let me tweet it so that people will remember that I'm on the Grammy board. But sometimes it's not like, these things are not super comfortable for me to do, but I'm just like, if people forget, and I'm in the business of entertainment, I run an agency where I need clients to remember that I'm relevant.
You, that is one thing
how
that
do I toe that line?
It's so tiring because even as a person, like I struggle with self-promoting. I don't like it. I'm not interested. I don't want to know. Do you understand? But it feels like if you're not on social media saying these things, like you're not doing. I'm like, oh God.
And you also know the way opportunities come in this industry. It's very like,
I think,
that guy, I've seen that guy seems really smart.
It's actually very heavy on hypervisibility.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the goal is balance. Dolapo, thank you so much for coming.
This was really nice. I really had fun.
Sweet one.
They were giving us signs saying that we should stop.
To spoil our vibe.
No, please shut up. Shut up.
But yes, thanks so much, guys. We've come to the end of this episode. Remember, follow us on all platforms, ZeroConditions_. And you can send us fan mail, ZeroConditionspod@gmail.com. We have some fan mail that we have not read because somebody saw me in real life and blocked me. I was like, I sent mail, you don't read them. We will read it. Don't worry. We will go.
We're going to read it. Maybe next week.
So, catch you next week. Full video and audio is out on Monday. See ya. Love ya. Bye.